Hello everyone, this is Draginhikari, and I welcome you to Final Fantasy XIV patch 6.45. Now, normally I don't do these kind of extensive streams for 0.5 patches, but hey, let's give this a shot anyway. This will be today's first stream, which will be just a solo stream, me going through some of 6.45's content. And then later on this evening, of course, we have the normal Tuesday raid night that we'll be doing later on. Today's stream will be a little bit, play it by ear here. As my cat Mia is currently undergoing a procedure at a vet's office, so I may have to conclude this quickly or stop in the middle somewhere to address that situation. But similar to the 6.4 stream I did a month or so back, this is going to be kind of going until I feel like I can't go any further. So, with that being said, why don't we get started today? We'll be starting, as I always do, with the story-based content, which will be the Hildebrand continuation. Now, this is either going to be extremely amusing or extremely cringy to listen to me do, because my on-stream reading has always been finicky, and now I gotta try to be comedically timing on this too, so this is gonna be fun. But I really did want to try to stream the Manderville stuff at least. So let's start with that. So we're gonna head off to Draginhikari because that's where all these always have started, so I'm gonna assume otherwise here. Just double checking my sound equipment real quick here, since that fouled up on Sunday to my utter annoyance, but hopefully we won't have that issue today. And there's the crowd of people. So, yep, that's where we need to be. The lion is trembling with barely contained enthusiasm. Kari, eager to resume our investigations. I know I am. You recall the scrap of alien starship we recovered? Well, Inspector Brand has employed his unsettling calculative capability to exfoliate the damage to the greater hull. He has concluded that the vessel would be incapable of fight without extensive repairs. Our most likely scenario, then, is that some unknown agent is made off with the ship's wreckage, along with Pupu's acquaintance. Unfortunately, I have no idea who that unknown agent might be. After all, if there is a singularly shadowy cabal with history of concealing extraterrestrial activity. Actually, let's head over the Kama first. The inspector and the others are staying in a dwelling there. I'd rather not explain myself twice. Agreed. Let's see what type of shenanigans we're going to get into today. Oh wait, that's not where I want to go. That's for later. Hello, Mr. Lalafell Stalker. Nashu and her friends will be staying here a while longer, it seems. I do hope it's not my house that has brought them all this bad luck. A most terrible development. This may not be the best time to share my conclusions. Oh, Kari, I'm so worried about Master Poo-Poo. It is a horrible misfortune, Kari. Calamitous, even. Poor Master Poo-Poo has fallen gravely ill. How? He's so bluish-green, I mean. More so, I mean. Could you have caught a cold? I suppose it was quite chilly up in Garlemald. Poo-Poo is an alien. Who knows what extraterrestrial diseases might be ravaging his body. Nashu's delight are the best medicines for whatever ails you, as the inspector himself can attest. Good gods, Nashu. You'll blow our host domicile to pieces. Put them away. Nashu, enough with the bombs. Enough with the bombs. If I may. When I was cloned from the Inspector, certain gaps in my knowledge were patched with supplemental data from the Starship's archives. This information includes an encyclopedia understanding of Master Poo-Poo's physiology, which may be sufficient to diagnose his condition. A xenomad hybrid mind? This explains the impossible calculations. Here we go. Brain power. Click. I have it. Master Poo-Poo is afflicted with a terrible case of the common cold. Gods grant me strength. As a visitor to Atheris, Master Poo-Poo has no prior exposure to our maladies, thus he's particularly successful to infection and more likely to experience severe symptoms. Aha! It is I surmised. We put the case aside till we have nursed our sick companion back to health. But even if it's a common cold, isn't there a risk that our medicines would do him more harm than good? They most certainly would. Based on my result of my analysis, however, I believe I can synthesize an effective remedy, but we will need to gather the ingredients. And the ingredients you shall have, so what are we to gather exactly? Most of what we can require can be drawn from Master Poo-Poo's collection of samples, otherwise there are only two we lack. First of these is a liver of a giant tortoise. A suitable organ can be extracted from one of the capuchas, which wanders. Salt winds welcome. Aha! Slaughter a monstrous opponent. It sounds like a job for Kari. Beat some stuff up? Okay, I'm good. The other material in question is a rare fungus known as a damsroom, which I am hoping can be found among the Great Works' extensive stock of alchemic reagents. Very well. Nashu, Dalen, and I will scour the alchemist's shelves. Meanwhile, we ask that you remain here and keep an eye on our ailing patient. Inspector Handbill, you are such an expert in all things Avnera. Oh, I would not say expert. Simple conclusions from simple observations. Nothing more. As I said, I hope the alchemists have a damsroom we need, but it really is quite rare. Once you have the tortoise liver, would you be so kind to assist the others with procuring the fungus? Which I suspect will happen. Then let us not prolong Master Poo-Poo's suffering a moment longer. It seems we have a job to do. Further discussions on the abduction will have to wait. Hey, this is Final Fantasy XIV. Meaningless distractions are just how the story works, okay? Okay, I know exactly what they're talking about, so let's go beat up an Amatorse. I don't know why I decided to go with the computer voice for Brandhilde, but we're gonna stick with it. You tune into this, you're going to have to live with the terrible voice acting. But live with it. Okay, I'm going to beat you up. Okay, I need to go speak with Hildebrand now. Going to be up at the Great Works, which will be a good place to start. Or I could just follow the icon on the map. Why be logical in this particular story series? Because it makes... Yeah, anybody who's not familiar with Final Fantasy XIV's Hildebrand's questline, it's a ride. Who knew a lab shroom would be so difficult to find? Your mission was successful. I assume ours is ongoing. Ah, Kari. I had every confidence you would bring us a suitable liver. Alas, the dank shroom eludes us. The alchemist has said the fungus has a few applications, so they don't bother to stock it most of the time. Then I must put my keen inspector senses to work. Stand back while I attune myself to the essence of the dank. Yeah. Damp. The word is damp shroom. And you'll forgive me if I have no faith in your abilities. 'Tis close, my friends, and closer even as we speak. I hear you folks are in the market for damp shrooms. I have some to sell if you are interested. But how? We certainly are, my fine fellow. Right then, if you give me a moment to retrieve the goods, we can finalize our transaction up at the Perfumed Rise. Was it generally clairvoyance or sheer coincidence? I'm not sure anymore. This is Hildebrand. Don't try to explain it. Though in all fairness, when it comes to Inspector Hildebrand, preternatural perception is one of his least baffling talents. In any case, we should hurry to the Rise and take this man up in his timely offer. Convenient. Like we don't even acknowledge the stalking Lalafell anymore. Just like, yeah, he's just here. We don't even pretend to notice. I wonder, does this not strike you as a touch convenient, if not contrived? The inspector saves the day again. You suffer from epilepsy or something, Nashu? Our quest for medical components is nearing its end. Stay strong, Mr. Poo-Poo. I mean, this is Hildebrand. This is probably going to be incredibly stupid. Ah, there you are. Good, good. And here's the damn shroom as promised. Oh, we are glad for your assistance. Ah, tut-tut, not so fast. There's still a matter of payment. Of course, of course. How much do we owe you, my good man? Considering the extremely rarity of the fungus in question, I couldn't let it go for less than 1 million gil. 1 million gil for a measly mushroom? That's outright robbery. A bargain, I counter. Would you pay tenfold the price in the markets? I thought to only do you the kindness in light of your urgent need, but I am more than willing to find another buyer if you wish to spit upon my generosity. Ashu, how do we fare for coin? Well, plumb out, Inspector. Ah, then this is a prickly pickle. Where are we to obtain sufficient funds at such short notice? What? The funny thing is, in game, it actually Kari does have quite a bit of money, so that would be. So let's. A million gil, was it? Kari, our savior in every sense of the word. Give that man nothing. We have you now, deceitful scum. Your swindling days are over. Rosahan City Guard at your service. We received reports of this man's questionable activities and have been keeping a close eye on him ever since. Damshrooms is a rare find in the bazaar, to be sure, but only because there's no real demand for it. The price this charlatan quoted you was in fact ludicrous. But thanks to your ignorance and poor judge of character, we were able to catch him in the act. As a token of our gratitude, you're welcome to keep the fungus, assuming you still want it. Yes, very much so. That is very, magnanimous of you. Bah. You think I enjoy tricking fools out of their coin? If those bastards hadn't declared my job redundant, I wouldn't need to stoop so low. He blamed the rising star among merchants for his woes. Van Hulde, I believe his name was. Purchasing the trading consulate where the man was working led to a reconstruction of the hierarchy, putting a lot of people out of work. Vanahudi. I know that name. Something about inquiring deals gone sour. Father was willing to sell him a slice of his Hanish enterprise, but balked when the man offered to buy our family's business in its entirety. Truly, there is no telling how deep the coffers of this Van Hulde are, nor do any secrets of how he amassed such keenly wealth so damnly fast. There are whispers, though, that he solved alchemy's oldest and most legendary of problems, the transmission of base metals into gold. Unlikely to say the least, but whatever the source of Van Hulde's riches, he shows no reluctance in spending them. He bought a historic temple to serve as his home, commissioned a private airship among other extravagant expenditures. Nice for some, eh? Kind of wondering if this Van Hulde is the guy from the end of the last patch cycle. Cool, that swanning case has barely started before you solved it, Inspector. Oh, haha, all in the day's work, my dear Nashu. I believe our business upon the scented hill is concluded. Let us hurry to ingredients back to Inspector Brandhilde, shall we? Oh, hi, Loge. You're back again? I may have mollified his lordship with the secret of divine manifestation, but the sense of failure yet clings to me. I must redeem myself in his eyes by crushing my mostly hated foe. Whee! I gotta wonder about this, Alra that keeps lugging him around. It's like, okay. Luge, you're just literally ahead. You gotta really keep this up here. Well. Okay, back to Razahan, so we can continue more Hildebrand shenanigans. That was actually pretty low-key for Hildebrand shenanigans. Though I suspect that cutscene was more to reveal this Van Hulde and whatever role he's playing in all this mess. After all that, we paid not a single gil for the Damstrom. This manifestation of such windfalls must be another facet of the Inspector's uncanny good fortune. Your suffering is nearing its end, Master Popo. If Inspector Brandon Henley's remedy fails, we can always try my explosive cure-all. Master, stop. Inspector Handbilly tells me you had the liver to go along with his Damstrom. A fine specimen, thank you. I will be mixing the ingredients in the starship, so let us convey Master Poo-Poo outside so we may administer his medicine as soon as it's ready. This is sufficiently remote. I shall have the craft come to us and we can commence the treatment. This and this and that and that. Okay, looks like everything is good. Oh, I feel so much better. I can't thank you all enough. Master Poo-Poo has recovered in strength in mere moments. It would seem his power recuperation is just as fast as his technology. I came here for another world. A stranger you've caused no cause to trust, yet you've treated me so kindly. The people of the star are so very welcoming. Aha, you are a dear friend, Master Poo-Poo. 'Tis our pleasure to help. Luge. And it will be my pleasure to harm. Like, not you again. Random crystal? I'll not fall for the same trick twice. Let's do this. Oh, God. Oh my god. What? Zap. Basketball goblin. Crispy-fied. Well, it sort of worked. Impudent worms, taste my full power. Spent too much time in the gold saucer. How many times? Just like, oh. Well. Yeah. You know what? Eat this. Yep, I'm just that cool. Not again! That, as we say, is that. It's just like, I don't get paid nearly enough for this. You took the full force of the destructive beam, yet you stand, somewhat singed, but apparently unharmed. I pondered to puzzle this inexplicable fortitude of yours and feel compelled to ask. Are you an alien? Aha! A fine jest, but I assure you, I am undoubtedly an Eldonian-born Manderville of terrestrial Hurrian stock. He's Hildebrand, agent of inquiry and inspector extraordinaire. What more do you need to know? Where to begin? Never mind. We have more pressing matters. Such as locating Master Poo-Poo's missing comrade. It's time we reopen the case of the silent correspondent. Yes, exactly. And I have a firm theory as to who took the wreckage and its erstwhile pilot. The Charlians! I'm all but certain they've allied with the insidious extraterrestrials, which means they are under the orders to remove any evidence of alien activity. I need to bring out my full conspiracy theorists here. I wager we'll find what we're looking for in Old Charlian. We only need to infiltrate their operations and expose this nefarious conspiracy. The Charlians can't be bothered to form allies with any foreign nations, nonetheless aliens, and the Loprits don't count. While Master Dealin's theory does lack a few supporting facts, we have no other promising leads to pursue at the present. More so, I am to understand Charlian sets the standard for monitoring astronomical and astrological phenomenon. Maybe their experts have been tracking extraterrestrial movement. I've spoken out of turn. Please forgive my presumptionness. Nay, my friend. I too sense our path points to the island of the Archons. Pack your bags, everyone. We leave for Charlian immediately. My calculations may have failed me, but my companions did not. 'Twas your quick thinking that saw the villain low with a tremendous flourish, no less. Yes, the warrior light still proves to be the best. And Brilly told me you went to search ingredients for my medicine. I am so very grateful. The time has come, Kari. The Charlians are the beating heart of this conspiracy, and I won't let them hide their machinations any longer. And, channel my inner Alex Jones or whatever. Nice teamwork, Kari. Hildebrand is keen to embark on the next leg of your investigation. Not from around here. And random gift. Charlian awaits. We only need to charter a suitable sea vessel. But of course, doesn't the city lie many days sail to the north? There is no swifter means to reach our destination. So this experimental aetherite will allow us to teleport there for even from an absent attunement? Splendid! Then we shall avail ourselves of the technological mothers forthwith. Of course, that made even me incredibly sick, so I can only imagine what it's going to do to them. Oh well, let's head on to Charlian. I don't have to be the one to do the experimental aetherite. Oh. When you've traveled this cosmos as much as I have, teleportation, not the least bit disconcerting. How severe is your aether sickness, Master Poo-Poo? Oh God, save me. I hope Dylan wasn't too attached to his dinner. Well, this is the city of learning. A sophisticated gentleman should feel right at home here. How are you all not sick to your stomachs? Experimental aetherites make travel exceptionally more fun. Sometimes I feel I'm the only normal person in this group of eccentrics. But this is not the time to succumb to nausea. Not here in the belly of the beast. Rumor is it that the Charlian secret agents travel the star in search of specimens, which they collect and bring home to serve to a confidential research project. Said project was conducted at a huge underground military facility. If we are to find answers, that is where we need to look. Labyrinthos, not a military facility. I say, this Labyrinthos sounds promising. I say we head down there and make inquiries about the whereabouts of our missing alien friend. We simply take a lift from the Hall of Artifice, yes? Then let us be on our way. I actually have to go to it. Alright, I have to actually go inside. I don't normally take this route anymore, since, you know, like the first time I went to Labyrinthos, so... Oh, I guess there was a door from outside, but oh well. Whatever. What happens when you're able to teleport across the world constantly? What beautiful architecture. Garlean is clearly one of your more advanced civilizations. The city's archives are said to be busting with knowledge of countless people accumulated over the centuries. I should like to pursue the shelves once we obtain our main mission. No, thank you. I am very much recovered. You're still very poorly. My all-purpose cure can perk you right up. Nashu, put the bombs away. Aw, these must be the lifts in question. You wish to send into Labyrinthos, madam. My apologies, but each of your companions must secure the proper permissions before we can allow them to entrance. If assurances are needed, surely a glance is all that you require to judge us trustworthy. Just with a glance, huh? I most certainly can make some judgments, but that is neither here nor there. A mission to Labyrinthos is subject to forum policy. You are the ones that should be judged. I know you are hiding aliens and xenotechnology in the underground base of yours. Admit it! Xenotechnology? I certainly have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, yet our paths do cross again in the most splendorous fashion. Oh, hi. Hi, Godbert. I chose the right voice. Father, what business brings you to Charlian? In search of a certain object, one crucial for the refinements of the Manderville weaponry. My investigations have led me to believe it was found here in Labyrinthos. And as you seem to have business down below, this is my son and his bosom companions. If I am vouched for their character, would you kindly allow them to board the lift? Ah, Master Godbert Manderville, the Forum sent word of your impending arrival. As a member of a syndicate, your ambassadorial status affords you an entourage up to 5 members. Pray consider their permissions arranged. I know not your current mission, but for the time being, I suggest you accomplish me to the Archeon. I can't pronounce words in this game. Sorry, Stalker, you're not following. Why is it always raining when I'm trying to do these story cutscenes? Why? We are underground, but above ground at the same time. An underground archive with an extravagant recreation of an outdoor habitat? What innocent purpose could it possibly serve? Oh, but of course, they're performing simulations to hone their strategy for aiding the aliens in their invasion of the world above. Wasn't that the guy who was talking about how normal he was a few minutes ago? Garlean architecture is truly works of art, simply inspiring. They have transformed some terrain environment into one more suitable for surface beings. I'm reminiscent of the orbital stations built by my own home star. But an incredible vault of accumulated curiosities. I would very much like to return here once our mission is complete. From what Father tells me, this storage facility is replenished with samples and specimens collected from every land on Atheris. If anyone has information concerning aliens and crashed starships, it would be the studious folk. Shiny silver saucer? I'm sorry, but we have no record of such objects in our archive, either whole or in part. So you would have us believe the purpose of this complex, this military fortress is plain. You cannot deny you are conducting secret research on alien starships. We are conducting no secret research on alien starships. Yes, we did build a starfaring vessel in the Thumanes, but that was neither for military purpose nor of extraterrestrial origin. Disguising your foul lies with a sparkle of truth, are we? Fine, I will dig up the facts myself, that everyone will hear what you're really up to. While I cannot assist you with your missing craft, I do recall seeing an individual of like appearance to your companion here. You do? And where was this, pray tell? At Mariano Aeronautics in the Media Circuit. The lift in the back of the building will take you down there. Many thanks, my good man. Well, well, it seems you have found yourself a solid lead. I have my own search to attend to, so I bid you good hunting and good day. Another round of in-depth inquiries by the Ancient of Inquiry and friends is in order. To the Marian Aeronautics we go. Okay, bear with me for a moment. I have a phone call. Okay, sorry about that. We'll go ahead and continue on. Just need an update on the cat, so it's doing fine. I just needed to call to double check a few things, so we'll be good. Now onward with the investigation. What fine and juicy looking grapes. You must be talking about one of those new Mandragora strands. We whipped up a batch of the bright blue stray onions, but I'm afraid they started to rot almost immediately. Not a mandra, you say? Well, the only other bluish things I can think of around here are the grapes. How lustrous this crop turned out. Mark my words, I will find the evidence I require. They cannot hide all trace of their alien alliance. I'm having way too much fun with his conspiratorial stuff. Master Poo-Poo has found a new friend. Maybe they can help us find the old one. How could anyone mistake me for a Mandragora? We look nothing alike. If I may, perhaps if you come across a individual representing this delightful blue ragamuffin here. What the heck is a ragamuffin? Actually, now that you mention it. Yes, the little blue man. I saw him with my own 2 eyes, I did, and it was no Mandragora. The gleaner and the company of an outside visitor passed through a little while back. Nothing unusual there. Only this friend you described was scuttling along with them. I do not know what purpose brought them to the farm, but whatever it was, they didn't tarry here long. Your description would lead me to believe you are looking for one of the Mandagorians hereabout. But if, as you say, it is something else you are after, I'm not sure I can be of much help. We only started working here. You might have more luck with asking the older hands. Okay. Apparently there's something here matching the description. Let's see if Hildebrand's found anything more useful. I guess the plot demands it. Wonderful. This corroborates the information I but moments ago swiftly squirreled out of this farmer. He claims an acquaintance of the gleaner in question, in fact, will bring him here to talk to us shortly. Let's round up the others. We should all be present to hear what revelations this professional collector has to share. You're the folks asking about the little blue man, yes? Oh, you brought someone who is practically identical. You must be the same species, surely. My friend was really here, then? They certainly were. If you've a moment or 3, I will tell you the whole tale. To begin with, at the beginning, I was in Thavnir producing on a Procure mission when I crossed paths with an apothecary and his unusual companion. As I mentioned, the companion was almost your twin in appearance. The wagon they rode upon was a damaged vessel unlike I had never seen before. Could it be? As a collector by trade, I have a weakness for oddities, thus I did hail the apothecary to inquire about his company and his cargo. The man was all too happy to share his story. He had, it seemed, quite recklessly plunged into the war-torn lands of Garlemald to sell his wares, reasoning that there was conflict, there would be need for medical goods. The state of affairs was a bit more volatile than he anticipated. However, he was forced soon to abandon his venture, and so the apothecary began his long trek home, only to shortly therefore discover a strange silvery ship and a shaken pilot crash and landing in the snowfield. Can't be a coincidence. The story continues. After extracting the battered vessel and its occupant from the snow, he brought him to Razahan. His guests wished to make repairs to the craft, yet even amongst the wonders of the bazaar, they struggled to find suitable parts. Hearing this, I suggested they bring the wreckage to Labyrinthos, and they agreed to the idea. I escorted them here myself. Alas, even with the Thanusian engineers who worked on the Ark were smized by the exotic ship, finding its technology impossible to comprehend, let alone replicate. Even the little eventually resorted to drafting the schematics, while the engineers followed each step by step to craft the essential bips and bops. The apothecaries and his commands were waiting here in Marathol. And then what happened? Once our industrious visitor had what they needed, they repaired the vessel in a twinkling. The pair had departed almost immediately. I've heard neither hide or hair of them since. I'm told the apothecary was paid a handsome sum for the engineer's services, but being typical Charlians, I wager they would have been happy to forfeit the coin for a chance to pore over every inch and square M of the ship. I'm no scientist, but I'm getting to think such an incredible craft must have been some kind of starfaring craft. And that little blue man, well, must have been an alien from another world. Or so I'd like to believe. I'm an avid reader of the Thanagarian Truth, you see, and I love entertaining these idle flights of fancy. But I've rambled on for too long. There are errands I must attend to, and I really must take my leave. Good fortune to you. Can it be true that I have readership in Charlian? Perhaps I misjudge these people. Presume your comrade is hale and healthy, Master Poopoo. In the company of a Hanish alchemist of undisclosed description. Yes, this is wonderful news. I am grateful indeed that we made the journey. I have a feeling this case will soon draw to a close. Come, let us return to Razahan and continue the search. There and back again in the blink of an eye. To summarize our findings, we know that Master Poo-Poo's friend is safe and in the company of a Hanish gentleman, possibly here on this very isle. Oh-ho, that does sound promising. Father, you've returned to the city. That means your own investigation was successful? That it was, although laying hands on such an object of my desire has been a long and frustrating ordeal, to say the least. My painstakingly shirt revealed to me the existence of a hereditary Mandervillian relic within slumbers the secrets of weapon augmentation. Though I turned our ancestral home upside down, I failed to unearth the artifact in question. The reason for its absence became clear as I chanced upon the journal of one of our forefathers. He wrote of visiting scholar keen interest in the relic and thus surrendered it into Charlian safekeeping for study. The trail led me to Lathyrithos. It turns out the Charlians never did find time to conduct their analysis. The custodian and I found the curios tucked away in the dusty corner of the Acon, still waiting processing. And here it is, an oddity every bit as perplexing as the God Brand's cryptic-bound manual. How are we to liberate its hidden wonder? Oh, I can help you with that. These devices were made by the Mandervillains, a starfaring race we once traded. Starfaring? Mandervillians? Yes, a highly evolved species with master of advanced technologies. Our people shared ideas and inventions, so I'm quite familiar with your family's relic. If you wish, I can have the device project whatever images were stored upon it. A darkened room will provide us the clearest view, however. Let us retire to our rooms and down with dim lanterns. We must behold the secrets in optimal conditions. Mandervillians. A coincidental naming, or is there a deeper connection? Find out that the Mandervilles all this time are basically hybrids of some alien species. Everyone comfortable? Let's see what the device has for us. Oh, God. I am Godbrand, Wanderer of the Star, and Weaponsmith Extraordinaire. The first Lord of House Manderville. This is the Godbrand, our founding father? I record this message that my descendants may know the truth of their cosmic heritage. This tale is long, but I bid you to watch until the end. Heirs of mine, I am not born of this star, or even a man at all. I am of the Mandervillians, a race that hails from the far side of the great expanse. Oh my God, I was right! Mandervillians are a parasitic symbiote. We can only survive by bonding with other life forms. Once our essence has taken root, we supplant the host's mind and strengthens its physical structures, imbuing our new forms with a steel-like resilience. Oh my God! I knew there was something alien about their impossible impervious. Then through the conjoining of compatible host bodies, we produce offspring which harbor the next generation of Mandervillians. This symbiotic variant eventually takes to the stars in search of new vessels, adapt and multiplying. So it was that our race proliferated and spread through the cosmos. Until, tragically, our flourishing society was brought to a abrupt end. Every planet on which the Mandervilles resided was visited by an inexplicable calamity. Our society was brought to ruin by life forms suddenly twisted into horrific nightmares. Okay, so that would be the Medion's final days and her song at the end that probably messed everything up, just like every other world. Sounds rather familiar. Even stars far removed in time and space were ravaged by the final days. Desperate to avoid the same fate, a comrade and I boarded a ship and fled upward into the starry night. We flew and flew until we found a planet, your planet, untouched by the phenomenon, but the rigorous journey had damaged our craft, so we were forced to make an uncontrolled descent. I alone crawled from the wreckage, badly injured and near death, but as I resigned myself to perish on this unfamiliar world, I was found for a man who had come looking for the fallen star. As a rule, Mandervillians do not take intelligent life forms for hosts. After hearing my story, however, the sympathetic gentleman offered to become my vessel of his own accord. He himself was afflicted by an incurable malade, and with little time left to live, he seemed content knowing his ailing body could provide safe haven for another. With his blessing, I set about transferring my essence. The man's form was revitalized and purged of its fatal fertility. Yet the mind which dwelled within was now my own. I went on to build a new home for myself here, making use of the people's technology to ply the blacksmith trade. We had a local lass, and together we had a child. Though not pure Mandervillian, our offspring exhibit the same enhanced physiology. A boon I shall suspect will be passed down generations through the bloodline of House Manderville. My dear descendants, the folk of the star yet are most fragile. Yet as the first man I encountered did demonstrate, they are capable of surpassing, nevertheless capable of surpassing love and generosity. As the last of the Mandervillians, I have but one request to make of you. Pray employ your superlativity and my armory of Manderville armaments for the benefit of those wonderful people who I hold in the highest regard. Well, this is so Manderville that, and you know, it makes complete sense in the way the Endwalker played out, the way the story is explained. I wasn't expecting it to turn out like that. What an astonishing development. I was wondering what the water was. I, Hildebrand, Hildador Maximil Manderville, shall heed the passionate pleas of my illustrious forebearer. No case too big nor too small shall be to be in the service of my fellow man. He learned he descended from an extraterrestrial being, and it's still business as usual. But wait a minute, then why does Lady Julian so monstrally strong? Is she a descendant of aliens too? Well, this is most unexpected. Never did it cross my mind that our esteemed ancestor might hail from beyond the heavens. But I do wonder if the self-same blood runs thick in our veins. The family tree I glanced over some years ago suggests that, but it's unimportant. My present purpose remains unchanged. I shall bring the Manderville weaponry to peak of perfection for Godbrand and the good of our star. Alas, before I have a gift for you, Kari, please wait for me in the Aetheryte Plaza, and I shall bring it to you forthwith. Some truths can shine at the foundation of our beliefs when brought to life, but I have to say this wasn't one of them. The most staggering discovery was that I have devoted readers in Charlian. Those who produce publications are allies against the ever-expanding web of lies and deception, without exception. I have misjudged the Charlian people. They are not collaborators or the architects of conspiracy, but they are seekers of knowledge unafraid to plumb the depths of the unknown. Yes, that's what they were from the beginning. That Master Poo-Poo, though, that one still has ulterior motives. I bet my life on it. Stand ready. We will have your need of your strength when he shows his true colors. It's like, okay. I hope you have not waited long. This is the gift I mentioned. Master Poo-Poo's earnest quest inspired me to indulge in a spot of clockwork craftsmanship between weaponsmithing sessions. Though I see it only fitting that you should be caring for this dimensional sacrum, considering a memento of your adventures together. Oh, and as for the Manderville Weaponry Project, I believe my ancestor's artifact has unlocked the door for the next stage of improvements. I shall find time to offer you assistance. Announce yourself to Master Gearroth, and I will join you with utmost serenity. Until then, my dear Kari. I didn't think we were actually going to get an explanation for the Mandervilles. Meanwhile, elsewhere at Thavnir. Lord Vanna, who I come with ill tidings. Professor Luge set up an ambush for his nemesis, but was once again defeated. His current whereabouts are unclear. That blithering dolt. No matter, preparations are well underway. The manifestation will proceed as planned. Master Poo-Poo is, comrade appears to be cloning him, but why? What are they doing? Mystery for .55. Time for our ending sequence. Extremes, calamity, cosmic altering physiology. The gentleman's man, the first of the clan, and answer quality our god brand Manderville. Truth can be stranger than the tallest tale. Alright, so that was it for the Manderville quest for this patch. Silly revelations aside, it's what you expect from the Manderville quest at this point, and we'll finally get the conclusion to all this in patch 6.55, which will be probably December-ish? November, December-ish, something like that. So I'll definitely be sure to stream that part of it when we get to that. So, before we proceed with the next main content, it's time to proceed to the relic quest. But I need the, I actually need my gunblade. Boy, it's not that one. Who's carrying it? Pretty sure she is. Yep, there it is. Alright, let's head to see what God Abrith is doing. The spirit reforging. Ross seems less enthused to see you than usual. Unusual? He's never glad to see me. Oh, it's you. I suppose that bespectable flop did mention he'd made some kind of a breakthrough that needs to round up the usual suspects. I shall inform his lordship of your arrival. Kari, welcome, welcome. I do hope you're prepared for another spot of modest labor, for I have plucked a new weaponsmithing secret from the depths of my family's extraordinary heirloom. As for why Godbird abandoned his cryptic journals, it would seem that he had desired greater security afforded by the relic's recording apparatus, that he feared this knowledge falling into wicked hands bespeaks of the destructive potential of what we seek to recreate. Speaking of which, at this stage of the augmentation will require fundamental alterations to the weapon's design. Godbird understood that the individual wielder has different needs and preferences, thus convincing a method to modify each armament's base qualities. Essentially, the process is a new type of oil known as Manderville. By subsequently adjusting the precise ratio of ingredients for this coating, we can influence the path of the ethereal conductivity as we speak. More bloody oil. The oil's cheap ingredients, once again, derived from a meteorite, specifically a conorite with amplified properties. So many out-of-this-world materials, but it's not surprising that we know the alien origin of Godbrand's weaponsmithing techniques. Alien origin, you say? Little wonder I wasn't familiar with them. As becomes customary, I shall provide a bulk of the necessary resources while you procure our Akorite. Oh yeah, a lovely bloody custom it is. Mando, your means, I reckon you could buy a mountain of the space rocks as well. And I would gladly do so, except the merchant in question will accept not else but a specific type of tombstone in trade. As much as it pays me to impose on Kai further, she is best equipped to handle that erroneous task. These improvements will call for a drastic reforging. It is your expertise that you'll see us success or fail as well, Master Gerfroth. Fine, fine. I'll shut me up a gob and do as I'm told. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm getting the distinct impression you've lost interest in this project. You bloody think? Look, I took this job to pay off me drinking debts. Now that I've managed that, I have no pretense to working for an underdressed, overprimed dentist's arse. I see. Admittedly, from the beginning, your distaste for me was rather poorly concealed. I fear such festering antagonism will affect our smithing endeavors. Yes, let us resolve our differences over a flag of the finest spirits, or several as circumstances dictate. All at my expense, of course. Free liquor, is it? You better bring your biggest purse. Car, you must join us. I would ask you secure a table at the Merit, and I will be there in short order. I can't seem to decide what action I'm going through with Godrith here. The hammering saga continues. Okay. I gotta watch these guys get drunk for a bit before we move along. What else would you expect? Ho ho ho, a splendid night for spirituous beverages. Blech. Can't pronounce words. You sure about this, are you? I am mighty thirsty and will make you slack by cheap stuff. Whatever you, Kai, will you be following Gether's fine example? No liquor for me, thanks. I have a pretension towards, people giving me drinks. Very well, I shall order you a tasty alternative. Like, think Carisol's paranoia over, people giving her drinks. Your brother is Lord Godbert. Enjoy. To your health, my friends. Right now, no point beating around the bush. I've hated your guts for a long while now. So even my insides offend you, and why might that be? Because for a proper aristocrat, devotion to your craft ought to be your #1 priority. But you're off founding a Crosolium or building some fool playground for fleecing the masses. You're a bloody merchant, that's what you are. You believe my devotion is insufficient, then? Yet our works require not only the sweat of our brows, but the capital to cover expenses, no. Does this not require steady revenue to facilitate the creative process? In respect, my business ventures have allowed me to indulge in goldsmithing projects I could not have otherwise afforded. Is it not true that you craft kettles as a mean to repay your loans or simply to make ends meet? Would not a substantial wealth spare you such tedious drudge and empower you to pursue your heart's desire? Booze. We're gonna need more booze over here. I mean, Godbert's a strange person, but he's not an idiot. What really sours me when you sat on your ass on the syndicate? How can you craft anything worthwhile with your head buried in political shite? You may be surprised. My participation in the Yule Dog governance opened my eyes to a different world, and in turn provided great inspiration for several original pieces. You keep your bleeding ick, and I want nothing to do with your pissy rule makers of your ilk. Having too much fun voicing this. You and your bloody reasonable arguments. Rich sods ain't got a clue what it is for more buggers like me. What do you gotta get wearing clothes any road? Need a drink of water because that's a little hard on my throat. We are more alike than you realize, Master Godrith, especially when it comes to the simplicity of our attire. Car's just like, what the hell? That's a lot of alcohol. It's all clear you're the master craftsman. I'm a sonic failure. A failure. Brody, how do you... Ah, bugger it. I'm sorry, you Sir Smithy. That's all that matters. He seems to be mistaking you for someone else. Perhaps you can offer him a kind word. Geralt, your craftsmanship is flawless. That means a lot coming for you. Thanks. Alright, I'm done weeping to me cups. I'll fix your damn weapons and to hells with money. I'll do it for my own damn sense of pride. Thank you, bye. A little bit too much to drink. We see Master Godrith has overcome his aversion to our partnership. Splendid. Though I would never guess carrot juice would be so intoxicating. What? Ah, I was concerned for our good Smith's health, you see, and had Michaud switch his spirits to something a little less potent several rounds ago. The Mythos elixirs is fine, but can wreak happens with one man's constitution. This old drug, you didn't know what he's drinking anymore. There was a time, too, I devoted every waking moment to my craft. But alas, running a mercantile empire comes with its own responsibilities. Monetary woes notwithstanding, I do envy Master Guthroth's in his purpose of purity of purpose. On that note, let us return to our appointed acquisitions. We will require 3 chunks of the aforesaid anorite as soon as you are able. Okay. Looks like more tombstones. Oh, I'm sure that's going to take off some more people. Alright, let's return to the Aetheryte Plaza. Alright, time to claim my prize here. Ah, the heat of the furnace has me all sobered up. Let's have the special rocks, yeah. I reckon that's enough. But there's one other thing that's been bothering me. Was Rolina there at the Mayhab? I don't rightly remember. Bah, forget it. Let its lordship get over here before I lose my will to forge. Now for the finishing touches. The Maxis Salamanderville oil. Before you can finalize the mixture, however, you must tell me how you wish your weapon to serve you in battle. The ratio of coatings ingredients will greatly influence the armament's various qualities, so think carefully ere you give your answer. Okay, this is the... select the third value. Tenacity will probably have to be the one. Understood. Your wish is our command. Ah. That's different looking. And 'tis done. You're holding the result of undying devotion to crafting excellence. The majestic Manderville bayonet. Have you not bravely confessed your grievances this evening? I dare say this collaborative work would remain unattainable. Aye, well, we must a little mite fuzzy on the score, but it'll take me victories where I can get them. As always, Kari, if you wish to enhance other Manderville weapons in your possession, you need to only say the word. My diligent retainer is at your service. Lord Godbert, Though it shames me to admit this expertise necessary to require the Manderville oil is beyond my limitations. Alchemic knowledge. Now look at me, if I could mix magic potions, I would have grown me hair back long ago. Oh, I'm aware of quite an insurmountable feat for you as well, which is why I have employed a master alchemist. Bloody odd-tasting clothing, but at least he's wearing some. Our newest addition to House Manderville's retain will further assist you with augmentation through the preparation of the oil. You'll also be available to readjust your weapon's properties should you bring him the required quality of Icononite. Right. Night. This has been a momentous step forward, my friends, yet one stage remains here, and the Manderville's weapons evolution can be considered complete. I knew you were leading up to it. Let me guess, we sit here breathless, bleeding anticipation while you sort out what comes next. Precisely. Preparing the process is likely to be a lengthy endeavor, so I do suggest you continue breathing. Final step is upon us, Kari. Please indulge us in this ambition of mine one last time. Okay, let's take a look at this thing. That's an interesting glow. Of course, we got to apply the appropriate amount of Kari dye to it. Yep, it's eye level 145, so it's slightly below my current weapon, unfortunately, but... Okay, so with that done, gotta move on to the next thing here, which will be the variant dungeon, which is what I'll probably do next here. So before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break here to stand up for a moment and do all that kind of thing. So we'll be right back. Okay, we are back. And okay. Just want to make sure everything was still working. Okay. So now we need to head to Old Charlian. Alright, I need to head down that direction. Probably only do one route on stream since this thing has like 12 routes in it, so I'm not going to get them all done today. And I want to get to the Blue Mage stuff as well on stream for a bit, so yeah. Shalimora wishes a word with her favorite well-traveled adventurer. Your timing is impeccable, Kari. How do you manage to do that? Patch notes. Just patch notes. An intriguing job has been laid at our feet, and the client insisted you be the one to take it up. The client? Why, it's no other than the East Adar Trading Company. The missive was dispatched from the Kugane batch rather than Lord Laredo's office, but it carries a particular sense of moneyed interest. Care to give it a read? Dear Kari, in the self-same spirit of friendship that has defined our very interaction to date, it is my pleasure to extend you this humble invitation. It is because of your endearing efforts to save the star that we may benefit from this rarest of opportunity. For it was in service of your noble quest to build the good ship Ragnarok that I was able to form a fruitful bond between myself and another Higashian elites. The Lord is said to grant me, and a guest of my choosing, to go to where few legend had tread, beyond the bounds of Kugane to the sacred slopes of Mount Rokon itself. I cannot overstate the significance of this gesture, nor do the allure sights henceforth unseen by Western eyes, nor is it an exaggeration to say that no one is more deserving of this boon than your magnanimous self. Eagerly wait our reunions at the gate of the Bokura Inn. Your ever faithful servant, Atcon Fitzgerald. There's flattery, and then there's this. Ain't out a bit thick, did he? I would expect no less from a consumable merchant. Not too proud to debase himself when sufficient profit is at stake. Still, there may be a crumble of sincerity hidden beneath his slander of honey words. If not, you'd stand to benefit from playing along. You'll be heading to Kugane, I take it? Perfect. I'll send word that you're on your way. Fair fortune, safe travels. You best come back with plenty of stories to tell you here. Indeed. Okay, yeah, I need to complete the quest before I have access to the exchange, so let's go meet with Hancock there. Off to Kugane. Kari's home away from home. Ah, my dear Kari. Who would have thought that the spinner would see us reunited so soon? You'll be pleased to hear that no charlatans have been attempting to masquerade Tenzin's prodigy in the interim. As you can see, preparations for our journey are well underway. Partial though I am to the traditional Higane Komodo, if we were to climb a mountain, it would be prudent to do so in a comfortable as well style. But I pursue you not. I would rather discuss the matter of great importance than my attire. Fear not, my capable associates are ready and eager to brief you on the challenge ahead. We have reserved the finest chamber at the inn for this occasion, so let's reconvene away from the hustle and bustle, shall we? Agreed. Master Hancock, Mistress Kari, we are most grateful for your aid in this matter. I am Tsubaki, and my journey companion is called Tokimori. We come to Kagane on behalf of Lord Uzumibi, who presides over the Mount Rikon and surrounding lands. His lordship is the one I mentioned in my missive. Hearing of my interest in the Far Eastern treasures, he knew at once that I would find the lure of a sacred peak irresistible. Ah, but you forget that you are not as familiar with this land as I, so let us begin with the basics and then respond on the finer points as we go. To orient your destination in your mind's eye, we must first review Higashi's geography. Of the many islands which comprise this nation, it is here on the western coast of Sishu where Kagane serves as our shining beacon of commerce. Mount Rokon can be found far from our beloved city of trade. Here in the northeastern corner of the isle, upon its slopes is the sacred mountain Shoujo Temple, a monastery where monks gather to train their bodies and souls. Alas, in defiance of this holy purpose, a horde of unworldly demons has claimed the temple as their own. His lordship suspects that the collection of accursed treasures is to blame for the infestation. In the Far East, you see, 'tis believed that well-preserved objects may come in possession of living souls after a time. These vessels turned kame are known as Sukumagami? Sukumagami? I want to say that's what that is. Sukugami may attract or even beget other spirits. These Monokis clearly have no regard for the sanctuary of the mount, and so Lord Isabini has desired a swift resolution. Compassionate soul that I am, I could not spare to stand idly by, but as men of wealth and influence, his altruism is beneath us both, so I offered his lordship a manner befitting our station to broker a mutually beneficial arrangement. To put it simply, should I find the way to rid the mountain of the Monoki, I may lay claim to what any accursed treasures I find. One man's trash is another man's. Take it Karimori. That's Hikari for treasure, by the by. And here, my friend, is where you come in. During our jaunts to the mountain, you will serve as my bodyguard and slay any monstrous monarchy we encounter. In exchange, you will be blessed with one of the few witnesses the wonder and terrors of Mount Rokon. A fair deal, yes? I've always wanted to explore more of Higashi. That's our warrior light. I know you wouldn't disappoint. Now that the matter of Kari's participation is settled, may I inquire as to the current owner of these items, Miss Tsukibaki? The treasures were brought into the temple on Bigash of Gorai. The head monk, though his disciples doubt that his intentions were pure, his actions have brought them great misfortune. Like you, Master Hancock, Gorai was an avid collector of antiques, and claimed the Tsugami who dwelled within them ought to be worshipped. Driven by this fervent belief, he purchased all manner of items he deemed worthy of veneration. But as the collection grew, so did certain troubling phenomenon. An unholy shadow began to loom over the sacred mountain, and under this wicked veil, the monarchy emboldened to break their fetters, fearing for their lives, the monks had no choice but to flee their home defiled by demons. We could not allow the surge to spread further, sending our strongest warriors to slay the fiends, but few returned. Knowing that victory cannot be attained by force alone, our Lord bade us to employ magics to contain the threat. Tokimori is one of the few valiant few who returned from the temple. 'Tis thanks to his diligent reports that we ought to know of Mount Roko's present state. Our orders were to find Gori and convince him to part ways with his treasures, but our pleas fell on deaf ears. He was like unto an animal. I suspect any semblance of reason has left him. Though the seal we placed upon the mountain endures, the monarchy have ample time to corrupt the souls of those who do not show good to their escape. Should you encounter any survivors, do not show them a monocle of mercy. It is too late. We have prepared our strongest falcons. Their keepers shall await you by the Balkan hot springs. We will summon the birds once your preparations are complete. A word of caution. The falcons fear the monarchy and will refuse to fly close to the temple. They shall bring you to the foot of a mountain, but no further. Beyond that point, you will have to climb. Many thanks, my friends. Now then, if we are to depart soon, I best we feast to our heart's content. Cannot say demons on an empty stomach. Okay, so it's time for some more sort of demon bashing. Mount Roko is rife with dangers. Do not underestimate your enemies. My thanks once again for your assistance, Mistress Kari. Master Hancock has some business matters to attend before your expedition. Once you are ready, I shall summon him. I feel compelled to warn you, even times of peace, climbing Mount Rokun is not for the faint of heart. I suggest you procure necessary provisions if you have not done so already, and ensure your equipment is in working order. Tokamuri's disciples have been tasked with maintaining the Mount's wars. They will open the way for you upon your arrival. Speak with our falconer when you're ready to depart. Though I must remain here, I pray for your success. Okay, it's dungeon time. Let's see, I don't need variant rays for this. Spirit dart. I go in on my own for this first run. Then I'll figure out what I do from there. Variant dungeon, Mount Rolcon. We pass our unsealed our behest. Where shall we wander? Were I to chart our course, I would choose this path. Alright. You thought to go down this path as well. How reassuring. The portal, if you would, good sir. Seal of the shadow, reveal thy path. Excellent. Let us be about. Okay. Let's see what we're dealing with here. A grand gate. What lies beyond, I wonder? Demons already? Smack you around a bit. I espy the most promising Polygon. Let's make our way to our destination. There's no end to these beasts. It is little wonder the mount was sealed. This is no ordinary windstorm. Such tumultuous spirits, servants of the wind, no doubt. These winds could blow a man away, and will if we do not tread carefully. A shinobi, and out in the open at that. Nekasura the fleeting. It shall be mine. Why I say you cannot have it. Wonders we soon alive, judging by our supernatural size, the demon's already taken the poor shinobi. You shall be in the thrall the treasure, a promising lead, though at an unfortunate cost. Dance of 1,000 petals begins with a single blossom. Okay, I think I read the pattern right. But yeah, I'm not going to read the battle dialogue because I'm going to confuse myself. Mistakes were made. No problem. Ah. Thank the kami, the winds have ceased. We should make for the shelter before air will blow back to the foot of the mountain. If I had to wager a guess, these must be the temple's stores. Rather spacious, aren't they? Oh dear, they've raided the place. Were I a treasure, cursed or no, I imagine I would abide within these walls, but where? Under the Asperis, these two Asperis, as it were, curious. So the glass serves as a magical doorknob of sort. The monks were certainly inventive. Suppose there's probably another route based on the statues, but that's why I won't be streaming every path, because it's like there's 12 of them and I don't know the condition for them all yet. Fortunately, I don't stream enough to cover every little aspect of the game, unfortunately, so... You two have far eastern maps, I assume. Terribly charming how the four lords are shown in the cardinal directions. Gods, they're everywhere. Have at them. Okay. How suspicious. Katana case. Blade pulsates with energy. Close the lid. Oh no. Oh ho, the wicked presence is no more. Well. Monkey Monok the Restless. Bring it. Oh, that. Oh, okay, I have to look at the pattern. Got it. Oh, I missed. Wow. I misunderstood the pattern. Okay, let's try this again. This way. Yeah, I made a mistake. Why do I have this weird feeling about this? Yeah, I was right. Back to the corner. Yep, stay put. Excellent work, Kari. I knew from the first you would emerge Pray tell. What, pray tell, is that look for? Your faith in my faith in you aside, you may be interested to know I recognize this armor. It belonged to Round Noriel. Could this be an accursed treasure, I wonder? That blade in the box we encountered was rather suspicious as well. Would that my falcon had the freight capability of a barge? Alas, I suppose I must choose which artifacts to leave behind, for now. You return. Few can slay great Monomoki and live to tell the tale. Mr. Kari, for glad I am to see you hale and whole. I espied Master Fanghawk's falcon in the distance, but his movements seem awfully erratic. We can hope they land safely. Terribly sorry to keep you waiting. Our souvenir was a tad more cumbersome than I realized, but as you can see, we're no worse for my misjudgment. Indeed, you are not, Master Hancock. My lord will be pleased to hear of your return and your success, I presume. It was Kari's victory as much as my own, but then I knew a few demons would be no match for the Slayer gods such as she. Yeah, it was a few demons at this point. Honestly, for all its perils, I found the journey quite invigorating. And with the Padulius architecture was nothing short of divine, a masterpiece wrought from the timber of the ancient forest which it stands, a treasure unto itself. Yordanian's work may possess a similar charm, but even a Yoldian such as myself can see it was in class of its own. In any case, the people of Sinju should rest easy knowing that the great monarchy has been consigned to oblivion. But we, my friend, have miles to go before we sleep. I imagine there were several paths we obscured, was there not? The mind races to imagine what delights we may yet behold. Indeed, a number of treasures remain unaccounted for, and the demons are likely to linger until their masters are slain. Precisely, but take heart, Mistress Sabuki, for Kai shall not rest until these villains trouble the small folk no longer. You shall sally forth again and again, until the treasures which drew them thine have been secured, and my new collection is complete. Oh boy. I know I've been roped into yet again. Alas, time waits for no man, business for no merchant. I must away. But when you wish next to take Mount Rokan by storm, you only need to say the word. Before you do, however, you might consider sharing your tales of exploits with Mistress Shalamore. Mr. If I received indicate a rather strong preference in that regards. We are in your debt, Mistress Kai. Please give our regards to Mistress Shalamore as well. It has been years since I paid a visit to Kugane. It remains crowded. Okay, let's first take a quick look at the, because the finder gives some further information about the paths, or normally. Okay, maybe I need to complete the quest before I have access to that information. So let's head back to Old Charlie real quick. I was wondering when you'd get back, how were your adventures in the Far East? Did everything go with Hancock? This and this and that and that. I doubt I'd fare against demons, but I would like the sound of that mountain, green as far as the eye can see, ripe for the gleaming. But I had an assignment like that, bah. No need to bemoan my lot in your presence. I expect Osman has been waiting for your return more eagerly than I. Go ahead and tell him of your tales of the mountain. I guarantee he'll love every word of it. Okay. Sorry, I had another message regarding my cat, so... Exorcism record unlocked. Alright, how far is your adventures? Okay, so this... I think this just unlocks the Criterion dungeons, which are the more difficult ones. Okay, that's that. Take a look at the artifact exchange. That's actually very neat. More Eastern here. Okay, yep, there'll be quite a few items I'll need to pick up eventually. These are coins. I think those come from the harder difficulties, if I remember right. Yeah, nothing particularly special here. I think the flute is the main thing people will be going for with that. Oh, okay, there we go. That's what I was looking for, because, yeah, that's the same one as before. Okay. Once upon a time, there lived a brilliant Omimori. His enchantments were famed far and wide, yet the man was cursed with a poor memory and often misplaced the tools he had imbued with such awesome power. Aware of his foibles, the Omiri resolved to never let his pieces escape him again, and wrought enchanted strong boxes to destroy them safely. The strategy was put to the test when one evening a thief attempted to steal his most valuable tools away, box and all. Although the vessels faithfully returned to the Omigiri's side, the poor man was distraught to discover none of the works within them had remained to do the same. Omigiri tells me Tokimori tells me that such strong boxes were once present at the Shoujo Temple. Their magics inhibits the spiritual power of the objects sealed within, objects including a bloodthirsty sword and a dogma figure. I managed myself to claim the box and a Fufmore sword, though the dogma must have been lost in the chaos that claimed the mountain itself, while the bloodthirsty sword speaks to itself. I was rather curious on why a simple clay figurine would need to be sealed away. It transpired that Doju, too, is a powerful tool used to ensure the temple's sacred trees floors. Though simple ritual bowing pour a small shrine, placing a doga on the altar within, the monks could coax into enliving the surrounding greenery. Simply disregarding for its care may have prompted the dojo to rack heaven on its enviers, which in fact may be best to enshrine any doga we encounter. Okay. Important context for future situations. Because basically the idea behind the variant dungeons is basically every path you complete gives you a clue to something else that may lead to other paths, basically. That's sort of the general idea of it anyway. But for now, we're going to skip that and move on to something else instead. It's Blue Mage time. So time to head back to Yulda then. head towards the Miners Guild, which is close to that spot. Time to see what shenanigans are taking place this time. And the crowd goes mild. Martrin is happy to see a familiar face. Well, well, look who it is. Thingfree and Zurbeck were telling me how you went out and saved our star. You've done me proud, Kari. I wish you had called on me. I'd have given your enemies a sound thrashing as only a master of blue magic can. Not to say you aren't a master of the arts, mind, but we're still here breathing after all. Well, I've got nothing quite as monumentous to share. There's something I was meaning to tell you. Because the guild has so many members now, adventurer folks of all sorts, eager to explore every corner of the realm, we've discovered a few new spells I'm sure you'll be keen to add to your blue magic spellbook. A fine consummation of wealth and knowledge in your blue mage log, but there's always room for improvement. I trust you're still adding notes to it, eh? Kari, what a welcoming surprise. A fortuitous of you that you've saved me the trouble of seeking you out. If you're both here, I take it you've come not for small talk? Afraid not, my dear. Impressive displays at the mass carnival has helped to help the Cilium thrive, yet in recent days ticket sales have been on the decline. Now you mentioned that I've noticed more empty seats in the stands as of late. And what do the crowds we managed to draw seem enthused by the proceedings? Should this continue, I fear Ajam and Sons will withdraw their financial backing. Must be something we can do. To discern that something is, I require your assistance. First and foremost, it's prudent we speak to the people of Yuldad directly and learn what they found wanting at this Ceruleum. Ari, if you go investigate the Gold Court, the rest of us shall start the surrounding districts and spread out from there. Once you have finished, let's reconvene you off. Now off you, trot. Okay. Let's see what this silly business vendor is faltering with this time. Before I do that, I need to turn the experience bar back on. Say, aren't you the Blue Mage Azerio II? I'm a big fan of yours. We went to the Ceruleum every day after your debut performance. It's been a while since I was last there. Nothing really seems to pose a challenge for you anymore. What we need is more menacing opponents like Alus, Mega, and Gogo. Mass Carnival never been. To be honest, I can't say I'm all that interested. The Gold Saucer, on the other hand, now that's a fun time. The Mass Carnival. Now you mentioned I haven't been able to see the show in quite some time. After all, it seems also routine. Gladiator matches are far more interesting. At least the challenges are not some mama-brained idiot. Issue inquiries of the Gold Court have you. Good. I imagine Martin and Yashin will be along ere long. I see. Then the answer to our problem is clear. A Zero the Second is indeed of a nemesis. What of people who told me they're clamming for more appearance from Azaro the Third? You mean person, singular. What single opinion is against the sways who seeking a worthy challenge opposed to Zero the Second? If they are content with Kari, we would need the likes of Singfree or Asmaglia. Quite right. Then the two shall clash in the masked carnival. The stream will be washed with flans, clamoring for more. Very well, Martin. You are to find a nemesis for Kari. To be certain that they're worthy of this role, the prospective rival must be even stronger than you. Seeing that that's not physically possible, I'm afraid I'll have to decline. Is that a pity? Considering your appointment, appointing you to Showmaster had you to succeed. Naturally, that would include 3% of the profits of all appearances, but if you have no interest. Showmaster, you say, make it 5%, you have a deal. 3.5. On the way, I'll need you to watch over the guild. Periandus, think you're up to the task? I know fully well how you tend to the matters of the guild, Martin, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Seeing this means to be your rival, Kari, I'll be counting on you to give them your seal of approval. We touch it in parallel when I found a suitable candidate, so don't be a stranger. In the meantime, I think it's best that you continue your trading. A nemesis deserves nothing less. Why don't you see about learning Goblin Punch while I'm gone? No doubt you'll make good use of it in the battles to come. Until then. It didn't occur to me before he left, but I'm quite sure the going rate for a Showmaster is 5%. Perhaps it's best he doesn't find out. If only his skills in negotiation match his mastery of blue magic. Speaking of which, I believe you have a task set before you, the mastery of Goblin Punch. I'll be holding down the fort until you return. Okay. I'm going to take a look at the spell book and see what we have here. Yeah, it looks like we got a few tasks ahead of us here. Guess we'll start with Goblin Punch. It's going to come from the hobgoblins, if I remember right. Nope, didn't get it that time, so let's keep at it. Good opportunity to start getting some more experience points anyway. Nope. Gotta keep going. Already went a few of the spells I can... Nope, you're gonna be stubborn? Fine. Bring it on. Insist on being stubborn, are ya? Let's see. Physical damage, 120. 220 when in front of target. Potence increased to 220 when you were under the effect of Mighty Guard. Okay, so it's basically a tank ability. Or intended to be. Amarang. Question is, which mob at Amarang is that for? Well, probably the best way to find out would just to go beat up on some things in Amarang in general. See if something appears eventually. Because I'm pretty sure all those dungeons and things that were being shown are not available at this level. Yeah, they're mostly 80 stuff or closer to 80. No matter. Yeah, those are the only two other free open map spells. Everything else is either dungeon or trial based. Because fortunately, Blue Mage gets boosted experience when fighting on the overworld, so it's mostly a grind more than anything else. Honestly, a little difficult since I don't know what I'm looking for yet, but oh well. Oh well, this area has a pretty wide level range, so it might not even be something I have access to right now at this level, but... Oh well, I need the experience points before I can do a lot of the other spells anyway. It'll be good either way. The best way is just to beat up everything as efficiently as possible. I actually don't even think Fates are really good for this purpose anyway. I don't think it's worth bothering with the Fates for this. Fine, go away. Go beat up on something else. Yeah, I didn't really think that was going to be worth it. Okay, it looks like I've received a message from my vet, and I'll have to go pick up my cat soon here, so... I think we're probably going to go ahead and wrap up the stream for right now. As basically the rest of the content for 6.45 is very, grindy in general. So there's probably not a whole lot of point of continuing the stream for the moment, and I don't have anything else to show today. But we will be back later tonight for our 14 raid night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So feel free to come back and join us for our shenanigans then. I thank you for joining me this morning, and we'll see you next time.